This is First Coast Math Clinic with Lesson 7, Unit Conversions with Proportions, from Unit 4, Ratios and Proportions, from our Pre-Algebra and Algebra curriculum. So the goal in this video is to perform conversions with proportions. So in this video, we've been working on proportions, but in this video, we're going to look at converting units and using proportions to do those unit conversions. So just a quick review of some of the conversion factors we're going to use. We know for inches to feet, we've got 12 inches is 1 foot, hours to minutes, 60 minutes is 1 hour, meters to kilometers, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So we're going to use some of these unit conversions, conversion ratios to help us do our unit conversions with proportions. So for example, let's say we've got 5.4 feet and we want to convert to inches. Well, if we're converting from feet to inches, our conversion factor is pretty easy. We're going to use 12 inches is 1 foot. So I'll do inches over feet, so 12 inches over 1 foot. So I do inches over feet, and I want to convert 5.4 feet to inches. So inches is my unknown, so that's going to be x, and then 5.4, 4 not 5, so 5.4 feet in the denominator. So let's do our cross multiplication. 12 times 5.4, so 12 inches times 5.4 feet. Put parentheses around this so to separate things a little bit. Let's bring down the equals, and then x times 1 foot. So now multiplying this out, 12 times 5.4, we get 64.8, and I'm keeping the labels inches and feet in here because people can have a difficult time discerning like what's actually happening with these labels. So inches times feet, right, because we're multiplying everything out, equals x times 1 foot, right? So now we've got our number. Let's get that x by itself. We want to know what x is, so let's just divide by our label, 1 foot and 1 foot. So the feet cancel out on the right, and the feet cancel out on the left, and we're left with the label inches, which is what we wanted. So that's pretty much what happens with our labels, right? So we've got 64.8 inches is our conversion. Okay, so using proportions, that's how we would do it. So let's get into a couple other examples, couple additional examples where we use proportions to perform unit conversions. So number 1, we're converting 17.8 pounds to ounces, and we've got our conversion factor 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound, and for all of our conversions we're going to be using proportions. I'm going to make another video eventually that shows you how to do all these conversions using multiplication, but for this video we're going to be using proportions. So let's start by writing our ratio, 16 ounces over 1 pound, and let's use the information from our problem, 17.8 pounds to ounces. So the ounces is our unknown, so that's going to be x. So we've got ounces over pounds, so x is our unknown, ounces over 17.8 pounds. So now let's cross multiply. Bring down the equal sign. Cross multiply. So we've got 16 ounces times 17.8 pounds equals 1 pound times x. And the biggest issue a lot of people have when they solve problems like this is how do they deal with the labels. They've got a bunch of different labels here. We want our answer in terms of ounces, so how do we do that? Okay, so I'm going to go through that show you how do we manage these labels. So when we multiply this, we're going to multiply 16 times 17.8. 16 times 17.8 is 284.8. I'm just going to write in both of our labels. We're multiplying the ounces, we're multiplying the pounds. So it's basically times ounces times pounds equals 1 pound times x. So all this is being multiplied. Well, I want to know what x is, because x is our unknown, our ounces. So how am I going to get the x by itself? Well, let's just divide by 1 pound and 1 pound on the left and the right side. Well, pounds cancel on the right, cancel on the left, and we're left with our answer here. X is equal to 284.8 ounces. Let's move on to example number 2. For example 2, we're converting 410 pounds to grams, so we've got two conversion factors here, 16 ounces to pounds and 1 ounce to 28.4 grams, right? So we want to go from pounds to grams. So what we're going to have to do is go from pounds to ounces, and then ounces to grams, right? So that's the connection we're going to have to make. So let's go from pounds to ounces first and use this. This is our first ratio. So let's do 16 ounces over 1 pound equals, and again we want ounces over pounds, so ounces is going to be our unknown, that's going to be our x, and our pounds is going to be 410 pounds, right? We're not worried about the grams just yet. We want to convert to ounces first, and then we can convert to grams, right? So we're just doing this part of our conversion, pounds to ounces. So let's cross multiply. Bring it down. Cross multiply. So we get 16 ounces times 410 pounds equals x times 1 pound. Let me squeeze that 1 in. 16 times 410 is going to give us 6,560 times ounces times pounds equals x times 1 pound. And again, I really want to show you guys how we're managing these labels, because that's what a lot of people get confused with. All right, so we want to get the x by itself. Well, let's divide by 1 pound, 1 pound, right? And the pounds cancel out, and we're left with x is equal to 6,560 ounces, right? So we've got our ounces, so we've done this conversion. Now we need to do this conversion, ounces to grams. So let's set up our ratio. We'll do 1 ounce over 28.4 grams. So ounces over grams, we'll do 6,560 ounces over x grams. Now the x, actually let me use a different variable so we don't get confused. So this y, this is going to be my number of grams. So now we're doing this conversion, ounces to grams. I'm going to cross multiply. 1 ounce times y. Bring down the equal sign. (6,560) ounces times 28.4 grams. So now we multiply the values on the right. We get 186,304. And again, I'm just going to add in the labels times ounces times grams. Equals 1 ounce times y. Now we want to solve for y because y is our number of grams. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's just divide. If we're multiplying by ounces, let's divide by ounces and ounces. So our ounces, our label ounces cancels out and cancels out. And our value y is 186,304 grams, our remaining label here. All right, let's move on to example number 3. All right, so for number 3, we're going to convert 4,500 grams to pounds, and we have our two conversion factors. 16 ounces is 1 pound, and 1 ounce is 28.4 grams. So our conversions, we don't have a direct conversion from grams to pounds, so let's do grams to ounces first, and then ounces to pounds. Okay, so let's do our first conversion going from grams to ounces. So our conversion from grams to ounces, I'll put 1 ounce over 28.4 grams. And then our relationship, we have 4,500 grams to X pounds, or X ounces, because we're doing actually grams to ounces. So we've got, let me rewrite that, 4,500 grams and X ounces. So ounces is our unknown. So we're going to have X over 4,500 grams. So let's cross multiply. Bring down the equal sign. Cross multiply. 4,500 grams times ounces, 1 ounce, equals X times 28.4 grams. So we want to get the X by itself. Let's divide by 28.4 grams. And 28.4 grams. 28.4 and 28.4 grams cancels out on the right. The grams label is going to cancel out on the left. And when we divide this rounding to the nearest tenth, we're going to get 158.5 ounces. Okay, so we've done this first conversion, grams to ounces, right? Now we want to convert from ounces to pounds, so we can use our ounces to pounds conversion. So now we're going to do, we know that our ounces is 158.5 ounces, and we'll call it Y pounds. All right, so now we're going to do this part of our conversion from ounces to pounds. And we know that 16 ounces is equal to 1 pound. So ounces over pounds, so let's put our 158.5 ounces over Y pounds. So now let's do our cross multiplication. Bring down the equal sign. Cross multiply. 16 ounces times Y equals 158.5 ounces times 1 pound. So now let's divide. We want to get that Y by itself. Let's divide by 16 ounces. And 16 ounces. 16 ounces and 16 ounces cancels out on the left. We're left with Y equals. Our label ounces cancels out on the right, so our label is just going to be pounds, which is what we wanted. And when we divide, 158.5 divided by 16 gives us 9.91 pounds. So we converted grams to ounces first, then ounces to pounds. All right, let's do another example. So for number 4, we're converting 2.3 kilograms to grams, and our conversion factor is 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So let's set up that conversion factor. 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams equals, so X is going to be our number of grams, so that X is going to be in our denominator, and we'll have 2.3 kilograms in our numerator. Let's cross multiply. Bring down the equal sign. Cross multiply. So get X times 1 kilogram equals 2.3 kilograms times 1,000 grams. So we want to get the X by itself. Let's divide by 1 kilogram and 1 kilogram. So the 1 kilogram cancels out on the left. The label kilogram cancels out on the right. So our label that's remaining is going to be the grams, which is what we wanted. And then 2.3 times 1,000 is going to be 2,300 grams. Let's do one more example. So for number 5, we're converting 20 cups to gallons. So we've got a couple conversions we're doing here. We're going to start by converting cups to pints. Then we're going to convert pints to quarts. Then we're going to convert quarts to gallons. So we'll do cups to pints, pints to quarts, and then quarts to gallons. All right, so let's do that first conversion, cups to pints. So we know 1 pint is equivalent to 2 cups. And we've got 20 cups, so we'll do X over 20 cups. Let's cross multiply. Bring the equal sign down. Cross multiply. So we're going to get 20 cups times 1 pint equals X times 2 cups. Let's divide by 2 cups and 2 cups. 2 cups cancels out on the right. We can divide by cups, and we're going to get 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we're going to get 10 pints is equal to X. So 20 cups is equal to 10 pints. So we've got 10 pints there. And then, so we'll say our quarts is going to be Y. So we'll do pints to quarts now. So that's going to be pints to quarts. So 1 quart over 2 pints. And we know that we've got 10 pints, so that 10 is going to be in our denominator. And y is going to be in our numerator. So let's cross multiply. Bring down the equal sign. Cross multiply. So we'll get 10 pints times 1 quart equals 2 pints times y. So let's get that y by itself. I'm going to divide by 2 pints and 2 pints. 2 pints cancels out on the right. Pints cancels out on the left. 10 divided by 2 is 5, so we're going to get 5 quarts. So we've got 5 quarts, and let's convert that 5 quarts to gallons. So gallons is going to be, make that Z. So our last conversion, let's convert from quarts to gallons. So that's going to be right here. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. And we've got 5 quarts, so the 5 quarts is going to be the denominator over Z, the number, and Z is going to be the number of gallons in the numerator. So let's cross multiply. Bring the equal sign down. Cross multiply. Draw a line here to separate this. So we're going to have 1 gallon times 5 quarts equals Z times 4 quarts. Now let's get that Z by itself. So let's divide by 4 quarts and 4 quarts. 4 quarts and 4 quarts divide out. All right, so we're just left with Z, the number of gallons. All right, quarts and quarts divide each other out and cancel out. So our label is just going to be gallons, which is what we wanted. And if I divide 5 divided by 4, I'm going to get 1.25 gallons. So my answer here should be 1.25 gallons. Okay. So this video was lesson 7, unit conversions with proportions. So I hope you guys like this video. If you learned a little bit from this video, if you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. First Coast Math Clinic.